Yeah, I gotta find a way down. Okay. I think there's gonna be people in here. There usually is. Oh, hello. I'll find... Oh, I've got no cover. That's Felix. Getting hit from somewhere. Hello. 1 second. Back off. What is with... Got both of my companions got downed. Ugh. Combat this game is a little bit, hairy. Can be hairy in any case. Ah. We're good. Everyone's got Adrena-Time on them. But I'm not worried about your adrenos. Ah, this is a lift. That was nice, gentlemen. Am I armored? Yes, I am. I just can't see it because my... I should have a glove on. No, hang on, that's Felix. I'm not armored. How did I survive that then? Pure skill. Skill issue. That's what armor is. No, fuck it. Can't wait for the lift. Let's get my rifle ready. Primal Blight. Ah, yes, they were doing experiments on primals. According to... What's his face? The scientist who worked here. I've forgotten his name already. So, probably best to engage them from distance because they are, of course, melee creatures.
Let's take him down. Keep it up.
Trying to hit them as hard as I can with those barrels. Okay, they just split. That's good for me. Now they're doing the whole... Keep hitting him. I'll focus on the contagion. Alright, might have to go rifle. Come on. Nicely done. These primals have nothing on them. Alright, let's spend that skill point. I'm gonna go... 80 to win... What's the determination? I'm nearly at 80 for that. Companion is down, party games... Okay, yeah, no, we'll go with this. My companions get down a lot. I've got no perks, but I have got extra points for my companions. We should go for a tier 4. Heals more when you're at low health. I should go down there like individual trees, right? That's her unique skill. So plus 50% healing from inhaler when under 20% health. That makes sense. Back. I'll apply it. And toss ball weapon damage. Ugh. I think I know why I didn't pick that one last time. You know, they've got abilities I keep forgetting about as well. I might try to use that. Oh, fine. You go into melee a lot. Maybe you could do with that. Be better at toss ball. Yeah, these barrels did absolutely nothing to them. Ooh, a flamethrower 2.0. I never use flamethrowers in video games because they are either way overpowered or they are absolutely useless depending on the situation. And I like to fight at a distance. Flamethrowers and those kind of chemical throwers are sort of crowd control weapons, and you need to be up close and personal or in a large room. I like snipers. I like picking people off one by one. Okay, the chem lab. Gonna be a lot of primals in here. Hopefully it's not as screwed up as human inquiry and auditing. I hope we don't see any more human cubes. That wasn't good. It's sealed. Hold on.
This facility is currently experiencing
Owl
a
scanner.
heightened security event.
I like your voice,
Accessing
Owl
this
Scanner.
facility requires voice-modulated passphrase. Please speak the passphrase.
Play the audio recording. Sing, "It's not the best choice."
We attest to the zest
We're-
with our
we're being
hands on our
sensible.
chest. Be impressed as our guest by what we've finessed. You are blessed to ingest what we thoroughly test. You've tried the best, now try the rest. Spacer's choice.
Nice rhyming scheme, Low.
Passphrase accepted. Access granted. Welcome, Dr. Jasper Low.
Dr. Jasper Low would have made a better rapper than I would have given him credit for. Bit more cadence and a bit of a beat, man. That one would have been a real bop.
So this is where Spacer's Choice's top lab coats made their wonder drug? Yep, looks like a mess.
Uh-huh. Like the rest of this colony. I feel like you shouldn't be surprised at this point. I don't even know why I picked that up. How am I doing in terms of weight? I should be good. Ooh, I'm actually quite high. I haven't got much junk on me. I'll still sell it. It's not worth nothing. Speaking of, okay, I'm heading to the portable phonograph in here, but my first port of call should be Experiment Perilous. So let's look at that, and then we'll, once we've completed this, we'll do the same as we did in HIA. We'll get to the end of this, this area, and then we'll, pick up the phonograph before we leave. Okay, watch out for Primal. Pot, meat, kettle.
I've switched on the laboratory's security system. I trust the mechanicals will sort you out. Good luck.
Thank you. That reminds me, make sure I've got my shock cannon
The
hyper.
strangest notion that was sarcasm. About wishing us good luck, I mean. I'm pretty sure the threat was real.
That's gotta be our pal from the OCI, right? I'm starting to wonder what they're hiding.
I'm starting to wonder. Well, I've been wondering that for a while. I'm fairly certain it's Ambrose, but it's Olivia Ambrose, Wilhelmina's mother, who is definitely not dead. I mean, I feel like that's a good read, but then who else could it be? That, I mean, it's. I know the voice is modulated, but it sounds like a female voice to me. And who else is going to be in charge of this? But it feels like it's setting up a really big twist that seems so blatantly obvious to me. Or maybe I'm just too much of a smarty pants. And I'm completely wrong. I could be entirely short of the mark. I never claimed to be infallible. I am far from it. I don't see any enemies. I see actually one red triangle. It's a lift. Why? Oh, wheelchair access, I assume. Well, this is a ramp. Oh no, it gets you down there. So, there's security door, there's a scrap mechanical, okay. I could, I reckon, sneak around this. Oh, there's a Mechanical Guardian Mark II. Just to check. So, security hall will be the shortcut. So I want to head to the security door. Okay. We're gonna do shock cannon ready, because these are mechanicals. And I'm gonna try to sneak around. Our sneak isn't very good. I'm gonna go around behind this scrap mechanical, and because it seems to be circling this big circle. Once it's on the other side, oh, but I'm desperate to go inside there. And I'm only gonna get, like, clear here when I deal with these guys. I mean, I could fight them, I suppose. I want to see what's in there. Alright. Okay, there's more robots on the other side of this main lab place. Alright, let's go. Let's get to the security door, see what we got. Okay. We should be good. I should be able to pass this. Alright, hang on. Problem. That is clearly got some kind of generator involved. I gotta find out where that leads. Stay low. Well, I'm not getting past this. How do we turn it off? Up there. We gotta move quickly before... I think we're good, actually. It doesn't have very long vision.
Whether you're in a fancy lab or an old rust bucket, one thing's for sure. No one cleans the common area.
Okay, this is the common room. I thought it might be a security checkpoint where they would sort of observe from aloft. It may still have a terminal that can turn off that, but I didn't see any wires. They usually go to some kind of generator you can shut down in video games. You know what I'm talking about, that sort of thing. That'd be nice. I should give my, like, these really nice plasma cutters I should give to one of my, like, Ellie would probably do, have that. I could get into this. What do you have as your main? You've got a vortex mace. It's a one-handed melee. This is one-handed melee. Oh, fine, we'll do it. I got a present for you, Ellie.
You better teach me that.
Change clothes. It's that simple. Ellie! What do you think? Give that a go. She looked pretty sweet swinging that one around. Odd. Employment rights under the Biased Labor Standards Act. Oh, easy hack. It's just it's just a closet. I can get all my mag picks from the previous one back, plus a profit. That wasn't worth it. It didn't cost me anything, but it wasn't worth it anyway. Jasper storage key, interesting. I'll probably want that. There's a lot of bathroom area here. A lot of dead scientists. No terminal or any obvious way to open up that, Oh, hold on.
How the devil do I use this
Ambrose
thing?
lab notes, number 1.
Oh, the barrel's turning. All right. I feel like an absolute idiot barking into this horn. I shouldn't have let Lucien talk me into this. What use do I have with audible notes? Posterity my ass. Ah, great fucking law. What's it doing now? Jasper! Jasper, it's... How do I turn it off? It won't. Just press the button. The what? Oh, for Lord's sake, the button, Ollie. Accursed thing.
Accursed thing. How is it so many scientists in this game, in this game's world, are completely tech, like, completely useless regarding tech? I don't want to be sneaking around here for ages, but fighting these mechanicals is still going to be a pain in the ass. And I'm behind this circling moron. I gotta go through pretty much everything to shut that security door down. I didn't see a obvious, like, panel next to it I could interact with. There's definitely droids in here. I wonder if I could get inside and take him out without necessarily alerting the rest of the facility. Mechanical Sentry Mark II. Okay. Shit, here we go. Come on, down.
drink?
Alright, they didn't notice outside. That's good. These guys don't have transmitters, apparently. It's a little more hairy than I thought. This thing isn't as good against these guys. Ah, terminal. Probably doesn't have any way of turning off the thing. I've got the passcode or the card from Law that might get me past that security terminal. I just gotta find a place to input it. I didn't see one next to it. Ah, we got another.
It's Georgie.
Oh, that's the
If you're
photograph I was
gonna
looking
still be
for.
holed up at the Sprat Shack, and you're not gonna like this one bit. I was trying to steal
Georgie.
our recordings when things went crazy. I know. Like I said, sorry. And I'm gonna be in a heap of trouble if I don't get them, so if you want to save my bacon, you need to do it for me. I need the 3 interviews we did with Ambrose, this one here, plus another recording of my own. I left that last one with a guy who owed me a favor at the garbage processing office in the chemical waste ravine.
Okay, another place to
I
go.
have an automech near Stellar Freighting. It'll want all 5 recordings, plus a passphrase. Glacial Age. Oh, and don't listen to my log, alright? Just stay safe and keep your head down.
Okay, update. For Electric Fling, that's that one. I've got to go to the GPO, and once I've done that, then I can head to Roscoe, or I could just return to Roscoe now, and not bother with that, because Georgie didn't want anyone listening to her phonograph, but obviously I want to listen to it. I want the information, even if it's sad. No, not even close. Okay, we got 2 terminals. Terminal access main laboratory. Damage to story area detected. Memory malfunction deleted. Unable to retrieve data. Run diagnostics. Diagnostics could not complete, sorry. Irreversible damage to processing unit. Irreversible damage to memory retrieval. Research data formula samples not found. Formula refinements not found. Side effects analysis not found. Quality of life improvements not found. 1 log found for this research data. To whom it may concern, this is from Shang. This morning, I and my colleagues gathered in the reception hall. Every 10th staff member at this laboratory was released from service. I am one of them. My indenturement contract to Spacer's Choice, which stipulates a lifetime of productive service as a researcher in the field of organic chemistry, has been terminated. I have served Spacer's Choice for most of my life. Working at the Gorgon facility is the highlight of my career. If I leave Gorgon, I will have nowhere else to go. Because my contract guaranteed my work for the duration of my life, to end that contract is tantamount to ending my life. If you have the power to reconsider your decision, I ask you kindly to reconsider. I am willing to work without pay if necessary. This job is all I have. Please allow me to fortify my spirit by continuing to work. Respectfully, Shang. Prepared to pay without work. It meant everything to him. This is presumably, this is to management. I'm guessing they let him go regardless, because what would they give a shit? We've got a research notes too low from Shang. Dr. Law, I'm afraid I don't know where your research notes are. I searched the materials processing and discreetly asked the receptionist, but nothing turned up. If I had to guess, you left them in the basement laboratory. I'd venture down there myself, but you know how I feel about the Primals. I apologize for the weakness of my constitution. I think that's fair enough. I don't want to fight big, spliced-up monkey guys. Sir, if your research notes do turn up in the basement, may I ask that you think favorably on me when OCI asks you for a budget review? Word around the lab is that Goodfellow and the other leaders at OCI want to make some deep cuts in our staff. If there's any truth to this rumor, I hope you'll remember that we've always supported your desire to find a better, safer version of AT. Adrena-Time. Respectfully, Shang. And he didn't. Or at least management didn't listen to him. They were going to cut him anyway. It's hard to tell who's at fault there. I doubt Lasper gave a single answer deep fried shit, frankly. Jasper Low. Don't know who's logged in here. Alright, we got personal files. Alright. Subject, work, fortifies the spirit. From T. Meadows. Today, we received our updated timetable from management, courtesy of Mr. Goodfellow. 6-week deadlines are now 3-week deadlines. Some of my colleagues have been sacrificing sleep in order to meet these deadlines. Others have been medicating themselves with very small doses of enriched compound X in order to combat the fatigue. So they were crunching on top of everything else. Oh, good. Crunch culture. Isn't that just the best thing you want to be doing with chemical research? Work fortifies the spirit, so we will carry on. I count myself fortunate to have been spared the decimation. My former colleagues have nowhere to go. Their departure corresponded with a few critical doses of enriched compound X disappearing from our storage. Correlations does not imply causation, so I will not imply theft. I am concerned by the side effects of compound X. Even in its refined state, repeated use damages the synaptic patterns of the brain. Paranoia, violence, psychosis, and intense anxiety will haunt a repeated user for the rest of their short lives. Our enrichment process does not combat the side effects of Compound X. We were close to a breakthrough, but the damage to our research terminals is irreversible. My only hope is that Human Inquiry will see the effects of this compound in their own tests, and report these to Creative Incubation. If Incubation is as chilled by these results as I am, they may provide us with more time and more resources. So, here's how I'm understanding the timeline. There was a massive data loss. All of their research data was irretrievably reversed, and that set back the clock. Space's Choice was pushing for results, but they didn't have the data anymore. So when the compound went to Human Inquiry and auditing, Space's Choice was demanding research and trying to hide the damage from their board, basically their auditors, in order to maintain the presumably the baseline would have been the stock trading they would have gotten from the possibility of this drug. So their stocks would have gone up in the intention or in the promise of Adrena-Time, and Space's Choice was pushing it. Followed by the crunch, the human testing failure, the incompetence of the management to listen to the advice, the cleaning up of reports, all led to a cascade failure until the product was eventually found to be faulty, but they had to release it anyway, or they wanted to release it regardless of its side effects. So it was a cascade failure, a domino effect of shit managerial decisions. And that is what has led to the release of Adrena-Time and the Marauders. That is how I am understanding the timeline. Subject: unplanned sabotage event. From B. Gothia. A moment of silence for my recent batch of enriched Compound X. The elegant complexity of your molecular structure manifested in the hallucination of my own sleep-deprived mind. 30% lower rate of addiction, 75% compatible with human metabolism, and with a side effect coefficient of just 0.65. You were our most promising compound yet. Human Inquiry would have been delighted to pour you into a syringe and stick you inside a test subject. So they had Compound X, which was a better compound, but you were destroyed in an unplanned sabotage event, which is to say that Mr. Mosley's fancy tables couldn't predict this would happen. You were almost perfect. Our lab will never see the likes of you again. Compound X is notoriously difficult to enrich. Its molecular structure is fussy. In small doses, the compound provides a massive boost to energy and productivity. The clever buggers at OCI do not seem to understand this principle, and have asked us to increase our dosage with every batch. High-dosage Compound X is even harder to enrich, and a poorly enriched, poverty-stricken chemical has none of the protective layers that inhibit dangerous side effects. So what we have is a cocktail of very bad side effects chased down with one massive rush of euphoric energy. Pleasant, but incredibly dangerous. I can only hope HIA's reports agree with my assessment. Nope. No, they did not. From Low to subject, can we please, just in general? Alright, Dr. Low. I think I speak for all my colleagues in the laboratory when I say I'm worried about the OCI's treatment of our facilities. I can understand dismissing 10% of our staff as a punitive measure. I can understand cutting our deadlines in half in order to motivate us. But, and forgive me, Dr. Low, but I can't understand demanding that we send Human Inquiry our untested compounds. Many of these compounds aren't tested because we know they're failures. Increasing production means proportionally decreasing quality of enrichment, which means lower compatibility with human metabolism, which means a higher rate and intensity of dangerous and potentially lethal side effects. Cascade failure. Compound X is a highly complicated formula harvested from a waste of xenocytes. It's complicated because, unlike over 50% of Spacer's Choice nutritional catalog, the compound was not designed for human consumption. So it's like the other 50% of Spacer's Choice's nutritional catalog. If the good people at OCI understand the complexity of the compound we're dealing with, there's a chance they'll give us the time and resources we need. We just need to get them to understand. This is a problem of miscommunication, Jasper. Just let me go up there and give them a presentation. I'll use markers and everything. What do you think? Can you do this? And this is from Pahlavi. From Low to Pahlavi. Dr. Pahlavi, the OCI are comprised by a gaggle of carrion feeders. You go up there with your markers and your charts and your diagrams and they'll chew the flesh off your bones and then charge me for the meal. It is absolutely critical that I finish my research in peace and as soon as possible without interference from the OCI. So in answer to your question, no, we fucking can't. Best, Jasper Low. Well, that's a lot of lore right there, and I like that, but no way through that feckin' door, so I guess I might have another poke at that, or I might just fight this bloody robot, I'm not sure. Where you at? Where would it be? I obviously can't go through. You think it's worth ambushing the scrap mechanical with this thing? Yoo-hoo! Can you see me? I'm gonna crouch down. I didn't see a panel, but maybe I just missed it. I had to go look at all these rooms anyway. They had the phonographs in it. Alright. In and behind. So tempting. It's so tempting to try and kill him. But then I have to deal with all these little automechanicals, and they were the ones causing me the most trouble. There is definitely a way to go around here. That's a doorway. Be careful, I'm being cocky with this guy. He's moving slowly, he's plodding along. I could try to get in there, but I don't know where that is. Ah. You know what? I think there may be a way through this building. I definitely can't get past that. So I've got to go around it. I want this guy to turn around, then I'll make a move. Ideally, before that mech comes around again, Mechanical Guardian Mark II. Ideally. Here he comes. He's moving. I'm just gonna sneak past. Very cockily. Alright, here's where we're gonna have a fight. Die, 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 die. Oh my god, he's not dying. Oh, she's going at it. Hold on. Let's just shut that. I like to have walls between me and enemies, even if they don't technically notice. Alright, that went well. I'll give you guys a boost up.
They can't keep us out.
No, they cannot. So this will either get me past, or maybe the card was for that door. I can't remember. Usually it tells you whether you can unlock it with a card, so I'm not sure where I am. There is, however, a terminal. Terminal access for material processing and for someone named Dunlop. Let's read experimental notes and then we'll have a look at the critical update. We've got one remaining log available. The last entry was to do with the experimental enrichment of Compound X. Experimental enrichment of Compound X, attempt number 89. 1134, exposed chemical X to sample N-ray concentrate for 30 seconds. 36, consulted research notes. Excuse me. Notes incomplete and damaged. 39, exposed Compound X to N-ray concentrate for 60 seconds. 45, sample failed, toxicity levels high, disposed. 50, exposed Compound X for attempt number 90. Woke up, fell asleep at the table, it's 112, and 119, sample failed. Overexposure to lab atmosphere, toxicity levels high, disposed. Researcher's addendum. Unplanned sabotage event destroyed any relevant research notes. Forced to rely on outdated notes. Expected time lost, 6 to 16 months. Attempt to replicate research, unsuccessful. Will try again after resting eyes for a minute. And all he got was a minute because they were on crunch mode. Critical update. Dear Sir and or Madam, this is an automated message triggered by the Spacer's Choice Contingency Management Program. Please do not respond to this message. Congratulations! Contingency number 77-1, abundance of raw material, is now in effect. Due to a higher than projected volume of Compound X harvested in this laboratory, your production quotas have been raised by 200%. Please bear in mind that bi-weekly quota reviews are automatically generated and forwarded to Project Gorgon Administration and the Office of Creative Incubation. Any dereliction in production will be reflected in your review. And they were being, crunched by AI on top of everything else. By an automated message. That's got a... not even a personal recommendation from management. Just a computer automatically doing it. That gets me around, so there wasn't any way to turn that off, or if there was, I didn't know how to. Okay.
Step, boss. This corridor's a death trap.
Alright, so you want me to jump over that? I wonder how dangerous this is. Oh, shit. Okay. There are mines as well. I'm alright. Just recovering from my concussion. I didn't see the mines at all. Then I wasn't looking for mines. Is that one? How long am I concussed for? I hope I can go under this, because I can't jump over it. There we go. Yeah, go under there. I hope they know how to. Bunch of parts and ammunition. Lots of good stuff. More ammunition than I'll ever know what to do with. Not even going to bother picking into these. Well, this one I can. Alright, let's look down here first. Where there will be a lift. Where it will take us, I do not know, and I won't go and check until after I've done the thing here. Terminal. Not going to pick up that revolver. Takana's Peacekeeper. Go on. 401 DPS. With a critical chance of 10% and a Mr. Ouch on it. Not bad. Speaking of mods... How are you doing for helmets? I just picked one up. 84, it's the same. That's alright. That new sword that Ellie's got, I would like to modify. I've got a grip and a blade, presumably. Let's give it a speed grip. Yeah, let's do that. And a new blade. I could give it a Mr. Ouch, which would give it increased something. increase power attack damage. I don't think that'll help. We could change it to a corrosive. We could give it a Mr. Power, but I think it's already a power weapon. Mr. N or a Mr. Zap? These don't do anything. I can only increase the damage shock or N-ray, which would reduce its effectiveness by a massive amount, apparently. Though I'm not sure. N-ray is confusing to my brain. Like, all those numbers are way too far down. That would make this weapon worse than useless. Though an acid sword is kind of badass, isn't it? I think this is already a thing. I'm not sure. I'm just going to leave it. I'm just going to install the one mod. And I'm going to tinker with it. 1, 2, 3, 4. There we go. That ought to be good. Alright, that's all I needed to do. Just because I had that sword and it needed some mods. Extendo site. Alright. Let's read the messages first. Subject, please explain. Where I'm from, that sentence has connotations. Dr. Low. I'm going to have to take the researcher's side on this one. This is from Tanaka, by the way. Your absence during an emergency is conspicuous. Now, I don't want to report you because I don't want corporate auditors scheduling interviews with the entire staff while they're trying to meet deadline. The unplanned sabotage event has already halted experimentation and development. We're trying to get our operations running again, and we could use all the help we can get. I'm already down one staff member. Saint-Germain's gone. You know why. You owe this team an explanation to any number of grievances. Your absence is the most urgent one, but I'll take an explanation as to why there are primals being held in the caverns near our waste disposal site. They're your primals, aren't they? And Tanaka, no, I can't explain the primals. Primals defy explanation. What a fucking low response. They are a miracle of evolutionary adaptation and a treasure trove of interesting genetic material. I'm not going to explain my alleged absence either. This is because I am not absent at all. My presence is implicit in the work of my researchers. The researchers still employed in this department are skilled and more than capable of repairing any damage done by the alleged saboteur. Please don't bother me again with trivial problems. You are the security chief. Stick to securing things, including but not limited to the safety of the lab and my privacy. Warm regards and pleasant felicitations, Dr. Jasper Low. And then Tanaka responded, subject resignation. I've just finished filing my official report on the unplanned sabotage event. Unfortunately, filing a report on a sabotage event requires me to also include a list of captured, apprehended, and neutralized saboteurs. Company policy. No list means I'm getting arrested for dereliction of duty, and you're getting penalized for hiring me. Saboteurs is plural. I can't include Mr. Saint-Germain's name and be done with it. As a last resort, I have been forced to include the names of all former employees whose contracts were recently terminated in the decimation. These researchers are no longer part of Project Gorgon, and will likely not survive without a job, so I may as well use their names to save our jobs. I filed my report last night and haven't been able to sleep since. I'll let you know that I will be filing for a transfer at the end of my next cycle. So, Tanaka wanted out as well. Do I think that Ambrose sabotaged the research? I don't know. But it seems like a possibility. I mean, I haven't got many suspects for the sabotage. Ambrose seems the one acting the oddest. So I have to assume she was involved in it. And if she was, it seemed not to accomplish anything. But why would she sabotage Compound X, which was the good one, and that allowed Space's Choice to release Adrena-Time? Maybe she's been trying to, like for all these years, maybe she's been trying to clean up that mistake. She caused the sabotage. She sabotaged the original compound. That created the delays and led to what became Adrena-Time, which created the Marauders. Maybe she's trying to, in some way, either hide her involvement or the fact that she was the saboteur, or trying to fix it somehow. in the shadows. Not entirely sure what her game is. If, of course, I am correct that the voice is Ambrose, and I really cannot see who else it would be. But once again, that does seem like the obvious conclusion to come to. Automechanical status. Yes, we will disable automechanical hostility protocol. Security office status. Lift all restrictions. And grant access. Okay, that gets me... Oh. Down here. I did not see that hole at all. I just didn't. Okay. Well, I was going to look a bit more up there, but I'm fairly certain I got everything done. Override authorization. We're clear from the sentries, right? I can just walk around here now. Yes, hello, gentlemen. Good. That saves me a fight. Let's have this ready just in case. That's the exit. I don't know where I am. There are some other noises in here that do not sound like robots. That's override authorization, that's...
Oh, this is where that uppity lab coat worked, huh?
Yep. Uppity is a good way to describe him, I agree with that. He does seem, like, completely, almost maniacally self-centered. Okay. Well, let's have a look in here. This might just get me back up. Ah, that was the lift. I think. The lift I sent up. It just gets you back up. There's a weird noise in the walls. It's just bits of rock falling over. Alright, let's have another look. There's no reason for me to go back up. I know where this goes. But I still wanted to have a look in that room properly. Hole in the floor. There's nothing up here, is there? Elite Troop Armor Gold. Alright, head back down. That was just to make sure I was right in, that's where it went. Pump. Okay, that's how I get back up. Friendly mechanicals. The exit is not where I want to go just yet. So we will be heading to override authorization. And where are these primals you talked about? Surprised? I know. What am I like?
Well, I'm glad. I've been looking forward to punching this brat fuck in the throat.
Alright, calm down, Ellie. We don't know their game yet. Welcome, Jasper Low. Messages. Alright, reading time. Woohoo! Love reading. From Ambrose O subject. This is a high priority subject. Updated security practices. Pursuant to last week's incident, new security practices are now in effect. All lab personnel must tidy their workstations at the end of their shift, close and lock all drawers, safes, closets, vents, and lab doors before leaving for the day. All visitors must be accompanied. Furthermore, any laboratory tech accompanying a guest who has not received certification either in self-defense or hand-to-hand combat must also be accompanied by a member of the security team. All confidential information must remain as such. Do not discuss the nature of your work outside or inside the lab, except to warn peers of imminent danger such as fire, chemical spill, or suspected corporate espionage. All laboratory techs are to isolate themselves until further notice. Any laboratory tech found fraternizing with groups of two or more, or found speaking with the same person more than once will be remanded to the Space's Choice Human Resources Re-Education and Reallocation Department. Finally, unless you are actually physically sitting down in an interview session pre-approved by me, do not fucking speak to the journalists. I said that the wrong way round. Dr. Olivia Ambrose, Project Director. Subject AT concern. Adrena-Time concerns. Jasper, I dug into the volunteer data Marion sent over. You were right. The current formulation is resulting in alarming outcomes, even by SC standards. Priantha and I performed a handful of autopsies on this week's deceased and made a few notable observations. In one case, that of a young man in his early 20s. We noted a degree of grey matter loss one would expect to see in a man of 70. His brain also had atrophied to a shocking extent, again as one might expect in a much older man. In another case, that of a woman in middle age, the subject was no longer able to achieve natural sleep. After 11 consecutive days of wakefulness, she was no longer able to distinguish her violent hallucinations from reality. Yet even as she spiraled, she demanded additional injections. I was sure our last trick would reduce the incidence of violence among the volunteer population. We might attempt to further refine the compound through partitioning, though I am doubtful that will be efficacious. Violence aside, I am growing increasingly concerned by the habit-forming nature of the compound. What do you think, Ollie? I think you were bang on the money and that you should have stopped, but you didn't. Though I mean, AT, Adrena-Time, so that's after the sabotage. But she might have done that anyway. But why sabotage the good product? I don't understand actually yet. There's a lot of information I know, and somewhere in my brain is probably the answer, but it's all jumbled around. Okay, this is monthly physicals high priority to the chem lab. The materials we work with are dangerous and will result in permanent injury, disfigurement, or madness when handled for extended periods. Therefore, all laboratory personnel will now report to the project physician, Dr. Priantha LeBlanc, Dr. LeBlanc, for monthly physicals and psychiatric evaluations. I do this out of an abundance of caution. Schedule your first appointment immediately and notify me when you do. I have access to your medical records, so I will know if you shirk. Do not make me drag you to his office myself. Ambrose, Project Director, Space Industry Pharmaceuticals, Research and Development. Alright, admin functions. So, Synthesis and Materials and Manufacturing Center is currently locked. We will override Synthesis and Manufacturing Center lockdown for the final time. Bingo. And emergency lockdown has been overridden. We can enter Synthesis and Manufacturing.
Halcyon's got no shortage of creepy science labs, boss. But this place? There's something real twisted about this place.
Still?
I've seen some reckless operations, but here, it's like they were trying to get people killed.
Cascade failure. You remember the guy who was running it, right?
You mean the idiot who got his new team pink-slipped? Fair point.
Yeah.
I know it didn't say much, being Spacer's choice and all, but Doc Low and his team was their best and brightest. How could this happen?
They were pushed to do the impossible by people who weren't accountable. Yeah, they were pushed to do the impossible by people who weren't accountable. This is what I'm discussing about the Cascade failure and the inability of the management team to respond to it correctly.
Yeah, well, maybe they should have pushed back. Maybe they should have said no. I don't know if anybody's gonna take the fall for what happened here. Could be Miss Ambrose if she's not careful.
Let's get the journal before we jump to conclusions. I'm less glib about the bits now. I think my character would now be a little bit shaken, a smidge, by how absolutely fucked the whole thing is. Alright, there's supposed to be a bunch of stuff in here. Oh, I don't know where this is going.